Welcome to Spiritual Straight Talk, where it's all about enhancing your spiritual walk through life, with host Suzanne Thibault, animal communicator and spiritual life coach. Listen in and discover inspiration for living a divinely inspired life. And now, your host, Suzanne Thibault.
Welcome to Spiritual Straight Talk. Hi, I'm your host, Suzanne Thibault. Today, we're talking with two special guest authors for the upcoming book, Tales from the Heart. And this is a special series of podcast episodes I'm doing with all the guest chapter authors to celebrate this upcoming powerful book on pet relationships. Tales from the Heart features 11 guest chapter authors who share their personal pet relationship stories. You're going to discover heartwarming pet relationship love stories that truly illustrate the deep connection that we have with animals. I would like to introduce you to Karen, Takayama, and Joy Howard. And we'll start off with Joy. Hi, Joy. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Suzanne. Thank you for asking.
Oh, sure. And what's the title of your chapter?
My chapter is Andy, the Supportive Life Partner.
Andy, yes, that beautiful doggy. Okay, so why did you decide to be a part of Tales from the Heart book?
Suzanne, it is such a pleasure to be able to talk to people who really want to hear that animals are more than just another non-thinking, non-being being. Mm-hmm. And to be able to tell our story, which is truly a love story, gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm. And what can people, you just gave us a hint about your love story that you share with Andy. Can you give us what we can look forward to reading in your chapter?
I think one of the things that I felt in my heart most is Andy's transition from one faithful, loving dog to another, the soul coming back to me so that we could continue our life together. And I know that when people lose an animal, how much they grieve, and that there is hope that if it is right for all involved, that soul can come back and continue your life.
And that's what happened for you and Andy. And it truly is a beautiful, powerful love story between you two. I know people are going to love your chapter. Joy, do you want to share any tips with today's listeners about what you feel is so important in our pet relationships?
I think the most important thing is that animals are attempting to communicate with us all the time, and we're not paying attention to them. The way they communicate is different than we communicate in human language. And so if we see something, I think just writing it down, and like urinating is a really big way for them to get our attention.
Yes, it is.
Especially if they're housebroken animals and you're like, okay, instead of getting mad, what really is the problem? What are you trying to tell me? And I think that that's the biggest thing, knowing that everything that we experience could be a way to get our attention or communicate with us.
I agree that all behavior is communicating with us. Yep. Even that yucky stuff we don't like urine. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Joy, for being a guest chapter author, because you and Andy's story is truly heartwarming.
Thank you.
Okay. And so now I'd like to talk with Karen Takayama. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi. Thanks for being here. And what is the title of your chapter?
the title of my chapter is Teachings from My Two Yogis.
Two yogis. Oh, wow. So tell us more about your chapter.
So my chapter is about my two cats. And like Joy, she had the two dogs that actually came back. And mine are two cats. One yogi and one female Yogz, just because I did have to change their name for the vet appointments. Would have actually been two yogis.
Yes. And so Yogz, you feel, came back to you, right?
I did. And it was a pretty unique story. And which people will hear in or actually read in the book.
Yeah, we don't want to spill the beans. Yes, but Karen's chapter is truly spiritually enlightening when you read her reunion story with Yogz. Yep. And what kind of cat is Yogz?
Yogz is a Nicholas mix because, yes, a friend actually had brought her to me from Nicholas.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's right. But she's a beautiful cat. And I know everyone listening, you're going to really enjoy Karen's chapter because it is spiritually powerful in their reunion when you read the story and what Karen experienced. So Karen, what tip would you like to give to the listeners today about pet relationships?
I think the main thing is that what I've been learning is their unconditional love, how they really open our hearts, and they're really here for us and what we need to learn and what we need to learn, but also to grow and to love everything around us. And yes, they definitely are my two yogis. They have a lot.
Yes,
so,
you've learned a lot from them, huh?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, awesome. And she shares all about that in her chapter. So I hope we've gotten you excited, listeners, to want to read this powerful book because it truly is beautiful. All right. Well, I want to thank you, Karen, too, for being here today and sharing about your chapter. And thank you. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Joy and Karen, for being guest authors in the book Tales from the Heart. I know everyone's going to love your chapters.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And listeners, thank you for being here today. I hope you're enjoying this special series of interviews. You can listen into future episodes to meet the other guest chapter authors as we all come together to celebrate our pets and our relationships that we have with them. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day filled with love and give your pet a hug.
Thank you for listening to Spiritual Straight Talk with Suzanne Thibault. If you enjoyed this episode, tell a friend and subscribe on iTunes or Spotify. To connect with Suzanne, visit www.suzannethibault.net. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for listening.